Hello, everybody. I did it before Kayla could
Hi,
do it.
everybody. That's what I say. I say that, you thief.
Yes, well,
You, you
life's all
thiefy
about
boy.
change and dealing with change, you know?
Changes.
Cha-cha-cha-change. All right, I'm not going to sing as in the first 10 seconds of this because everyone will turn off. So, the three of us are here together today to discuss something that brought us together in the first place.
Babies.
Tequila.
All
would
one
like
led to the other.
babies and
Babies
tequila.
and
This is a
tequila.
very special episode.
Grilling babies, drinking tequila. Gear up. Recipes, do's and don'ts.
Well, that's a hell of a BuzzFeed article.
Ah,
God.
that's strange. The FBI is calling me
Yeah,
already.
right? It's the SWAT team. No, we're going to talk about video games today.
Yes.
And fun fact,
For those of you who don't know,
working at a GameStop.
Okay, thanks for reading my story.
Well, I was in the middle of it before you did.
Were you?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
just-
Finish. You finish it.
Go ahead, everybody.
No, it's not the same anymore.
Go ahead, everybody.
Come on.
Come on,
No,
everybody.
I don't want it anymore. It's just not the.
Come on.
So once upon a time,
Oh, this is
long,
gonna be
long
good. I can tell.
ago, we all worked at GameStop together.
Yeah.
Okay. And Brendan and I worked there, and they hired this girl named Kayla.
That's me.
And she would come in, and we'd all kind of be looking at the customers coming in. I'm like, well, yeah, that girl's cute. And Caleb be like, yeah, she has a really great ass. We're like, wow, this girl is really cool.
Or like we're friends
You
for
know?
life.
And we're like, yeah, this will be great. Little did we know that she would kidnap and terrorize us for the years to come.
Yeah,
If
my
only we
first
could tell
first
this.
experience, I was like, wow, she's quiet, and then never again did I ever think that.
Never again.
So, yeah.
You're true. You're true.
So, I guess we should start this off with the most obvious question. What is everyone's favorite game of all time?
Of all time?
Of all time. You're probably going to say Red Dead.
You know, it was
lot
the
of
first
pressure.
one I thought of. It was the first. Red Dead 2, though.
Red Dead.
I can't.
Yeah.
Nothing beats that for me. But I don't know. That's hard to. I mean, yeah. If I were to pick a game that I would like, the only one that I could play would be Red Dead 2. That'd probably be it. So, it must be my favorite. That's how that works, right?
Yeah.
Brendan, you go.
I would have to say Ocarina of Time if I were to play one game for the rest of my life. If I could replay one game, like wipe my memory and play a game again, it would be Ocarina of Time. I think second, shockingly enough, would be Bioshock. No pun intended.
Infinite was my favorite.
The original Bioshock is like top 5 games for me. It's like it's like Ocarina of Time, Bioshock, GoldenEye, World of Warcraft, Perfect Dark. Is that 5?
I never played Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark was fun.
Perfect Dark was just GoldenEye in the future, but I mean it was
right. I mean the multiplayer part was much better as well.
That multiplayer, like I ended up like really. That's actually going to be a question down the road, but Halo. It's funny, everybody like went gaga over when it came out, and I was like, it's all right. But like honestly, like I preferred GoldenEye to Halo, and I still do to this day.
Right, GoldenEye was really, really solid.
Yeah.
And
that was actually an afterthought. The multiplayer. That was like something I think they did in like the last month. They were just like, what if we let people shoot each other? And like Rare was like, sure, put it in the game, whatever.
Every day.
Yeah, that was a winner.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I should be able to shoot people.
That was a whole winner.
Whole winner. What about you?
So, I'd have to say, giving some retro love, Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
For Super Nintendo.
I remember that. I never finished that game, but I enjoy it every time I play it.
That was like one of the first like RPGs at least I remember with multiple endings.
Right.
And so it just had like a lot of replay value. Hey, did you know if you do this, it changes the ending completely? If you do this, it changes the ending completely.
You're like, no way.
I'm like, well, I'm about to invest 200 hours into playing this game repetitively just to see all the damn endings.
Chrono Trigger.
You know?
That was like, and you could like teleport like to the end boss whenever you wanted, right?
Yeah, you could go right there. Like as soon as you fix the time machine, you could be like, "Yeah, let's do this."
And then you would get
Let's-
like destroyed.
You'd get like mollywopped.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you were skilled enough, you could like do it and just skip it, like
right.
skip all the other stuff that they wanted you to do, and just be like, "Yeah, okay, we did it. Yay!" Now what?
Yeah.
So, but no, right. So that was it's definitely top 5 for me. You know,
Oh, excuse me. What's a game that you thought that you would like but actually hated?
life.
Oh, the
Oh,
game.
That's-
You know, this game of life. Listen,
yeah,
let me
you
tell
went, you went back to GameStop and you were like, "Look, all right, I don't have the receipt, but
Oh, you know what game I thought I would like and didn't
I know
at
I'm
all?
outdated. 7-day return for it, but
just a tad." What
I
game
would
was
have to
that, Caleb?
say LA Noire. Like I did not get into it at all.
Yeah, LA Noir.
I really thought that game was like right up my alley.
So LA Noir was that game. Well, that's going to be the next question on this, but I guess these questions can kind of be combined because the next question is, what's a really popular game everyone seems to love but you don't like?
Yeah.
I would say that LA Noir, and Kayla's not going to like that I say this, is similar to me. Was The Last of Us in that
I love that.
it was a solid game. It was a great story, and it was a well acted story, and it was a well, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could tell that the actors in that were like actually giving it their all, which was like awesome to see for a video game. But the gameplay itself was like mediocre. Like, it really wasn't, a great structured game. Like, it was, you know what I mean? I think it relied too heavily, and that was the same thing as LA Noire. It was, you could tell that Rockstar just wanted to make like a really good story, and they didn't really care that the gameplay was not really up to snuff when it came to like Grand Theft Auto, because it wasn't like a sandbox. It was pretty linear, and it was a sort of like we had gotten past that in video games, so people didn't really want to do that. But it was a good story.
I couldn't even like beat it. No, I like gave up. I was like, I can't be bothered with this anymore. It was just annoying.
Right.
And like they're the science that they were, because at that time I was like hardcore into like studying body like micro expressions and they were completely wrong. They were like, oh, like when you squint your eyes like this, and I'm like, that's actually not correct at all. I'm sitting there using actual science that I've been researching, because it was like, I think like right before college that it came out, and that was like my biggest like thing that I was doing for college.
Right.
And it was like, I was like, you're wrong. This is all not right.
I know what a liar looks like. I look at it in the mirror every morning.
It was like this whole game is based on this one thing, and they got none of the correct information.
So wait, you're telling me that you believe that Rockstar was incorrect in what a liar looks like?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what does a liar look like?
Inform us, please.
You're not supposed, like, the faces, like, they were like, oh, they were doing the things that you see, like, on Instagram, where they're like, if you look away, that means you're lying. When actually, a liar will make the most direct eye contact with you to encourage, like, if they'll be uncomfortable about it almost. Like, they'll be like they won't look away from you.
Or maybe that's what they want you to think. I don't know. That's fair. What about you, Will?
This one's a difficult one for me. I would actually have to say the first Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was a much bigger fan of Red Dead 2 than Red Dead 1. I played Red Dead 1. I'm like, if I have to ride this horse for another 45 minutes to get to the next destination.
Red Dead 2 was pretty bad with that too, but
but I mean, they did have like
at least you could walk away.
Right? Yeah. You know, they had fast travel stations, kind of a little bit better, more spread out, and easier to do. It's like,
but
also,
also
the first one was kind of like, hey, look at this nature. Like, no, it's a video game. I don't care.
Yeah, I want to be shooting people right now. I don't want to be doing that.
You know.
Yeah, the first one, I was like, once like you play the second one, you like can't play the first one again.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I tried.
For sure.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, the second one is just better in every
like,
single way.
Yeah. And I used to love I used to play the first one all the time. The thing that sucked though is like there were never like you would, at least when you ride horses in Red Dead 2, like there was like so many random things that can happen
Mhm.
while you're riding. But in Red Dead 1, it wasn't very often that you got like stranger encounters or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
What about you, Brendan?
I already said what it was.
Yeah, he
Oh
said he
yeah,
was
you
ready.
did.
Last
You
of
did.
Us.
I forgot.
And I thought you were going to
Right.
What?
I
I thought she
haven't
was going to
played
say me
the
about Red
second
Dead. Like, apparently we don't like the games that Kayla likes. So
Well,
You
mine
like
was
your horror games, so.
number 2 is my favorite.
Hey, yo.
Me, horror games, I barely really play them.
Really?
They're too scary. I like horror movies. I
yeah,
hate
that's some of our other
being
friends that are more like into
Yeah.
horror.
I
Fucking
can only
Brit
ever
loves
play like
those.
20 minutes
Yeah, Britt
of
and
the
Megan.
game.
Jeez. Why do they do that to themselves?
It's fun.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's fun, you guys.
Here's a tough
Nope.
question because I got to think about it. What's a
Okay.
game you didn't expect to enjoy but ended up liking?
Ooh.
For me, honestly, the Bioshocks. I
Really?
didn't like. Well, the first and the second. I tried the first one once, and I
The
wasn't a
second
fan.
one sucks. Well, the second one,
Infinite blew me away. Completely blew me
Infinite
away.
was
and
better
I
than
was
the second
like,
one.
I
They
like
were just different
loved
games.
it.
I don't know. Like third was more.
Okay.
Third was more of a action type adventure game. Like the first one was more suspenseful and
Yeah.
spooky.
It just never was something that I thought that I would like get into. And I think
Right.
actually one of you guys, I think, recommended it to me. When it came, someone said to play it, and I did, and I was a big fan.
Will you have yours, Will?
Mine would have been Mass Effect. Like Mass Effect 2 was the
Yeah,
first one
wow.
I played
I didn't even think about
out
that.
of
You're
them.
absolutely right. But that
And I definitely went into that. Like my cousin was like, yo, you gotta play this. And I was just like, okay, this doesn't look like anything that I would ever be like interested in at all. And I really I went back, played part 1, part 2, like brother, you remember we played part 3
right, I
on
remember.
co-op online, like
Yeah.
yeah, so it was really just like, yo, this is actually really
It's
dope.
actually
Like,
decent, and they built like a good universe around it, and like it was. Yeah, BioWare did a great job with that.
yeah.
I never really played Andromeda, but
Yeah, no, that was a punt.
did you play? Did you play the version that just came out, like the original trilogy remastered?
I did not play the remastered only because again, like that is a long game.
Oh
like,
yeah, no, it is. I'm still. I think it came out. God, like beginning of the summer, and I'm still not done with 3. Like I'm doing the
right,
same
3
character.
was a legit like 60, 70
Yeah,
hours
three
if
is
you
a
really
3 is a
wanted.
bit of a slog, to be honest. But it's like
Right.
2 is really good. 2 is better than I remember. Like I mean,
Two,
and 2 is the
two,
best of the trilogy.
right. 2 drags 2, honestly, but it doesn't feel like it's dragging because
No,
it's
it
so much
doesn't.
like it rewards you so much as you're going along.
Right.
Whereas like 3 is like, yay, if you don't do this, that last battle's gonna be a bitch. So you might as well.
And it's all about that.
Here we
yeah.
are.
And then what's weird about it is like people like if you play the first one is drastically different than second and third.
It is.
The first one is more RPG-ish. It's like the second and third
It
are
is
more
way
like,
more
like
RPG-ish.
action, shooter.
Yeah, action shooter type of action RPG.
Right.
I guess.
But the first one, it's sort of like a odd, black sheep of the whole series because it's just. I felt like after people were just like, it's okay, and then they were just like, all right, fuck it, we'll make it more like Call of Duty, and people were like,
It's kind of like what you said. It's kind of like it was very story based driven.
Right.
And I mean, it's funny because like the decisions you make in part 1 affect so much of part 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just want to play it that way, so it's just interesting to kind of see. Wow, like part 2 really doesn't like. I guess I mean it kind of does, but really part 1 has so much effects to how part 3 plays out, like depending on your decisions. So yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Origins. The only thing, or the Dragon Age. I think it was either like.
I want to say, wait, what?
Mass Effect Origins?
No. Dragon Age Origins. I didn't like any of the other Dragon Ages, but again, I'm a sucker for stories.
That I couldn't get into.
So.
See, I'm not. That's if I'm just being honest. I'm like so. There was game Rage 2, and it came out on Game Pass. And it was like you can Google it if you want. Like I could not tell you what the story was, but I beat the game, and it was just like a shit ton of fun because you're going around like shooting people and like sliding into people and driving things, and I'm just like, oh, this is just fun. But like the story, I literally couldn't tell you what the story was about. But see, I'm
Yeah,
more
I
of
don't.
a gameplay type. I'm like, if I go for a story, watch a movie. You know what I mean? I can skip
No.
cutscenes. I
Well,
don't care about
there's
that shit.
so many games that like I've played that all you do is like walk around and like read shit. Or,
Yeah, I'm not about
you know,
that.
like I love that. That's like
Wow,
I love it.
that
There's
sounds
this one
boring
game
as
called
shit.
Home that was like these indie games, and then there's also What Remains of Edith Finch. That's freaking
That game
amazing.
I did hear good things about.
It's just like a beautiful story, and it's great, and I love it.
I
But
say
yeah,
for
I don't
me,
know.
that game that I'm not sure if you played it with us, Will, but what is it, like Ultimate Chicken Horse?
I did not.
So Casey
I don't
like kept
think-
saying we should play this game. I was like, this sounds so dumb, and I ended up loving it. It's like a platformer, but it's a competitive platformer where you like put items down. Like everybody gets to put an item in the course, so it's like you put like a buzzsaw or like shit like that. Like
I did not play that one.
if we could all play it online and do an episode where we play it, it's a lot of fun. What was the first game you ever remember playing? This I actually know. I played with my brother. We played Chippendale's Rescue Rangers for the regular NES because he got it for his 5th birthday, and I was 2 years old. 2 years old, maybe less actually. He was 5.
That was impressive.
And I remember playing that with my brother and like just hitting the controller, and I was like, "Look, I'm jumping." And he was like, "Don't touch it." I was like, "Adam."
Adam. I played Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage on the PlayStation 1. And it was the best one to
That
play.
was the first game you remember playing.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like, I don't think I played any because my first system was a PlayStation 1. I don't. Like, I haven't. Like, I would see my older brother play on his computer. Maybe I played like a solitaire or something. But like, console game, that was like the first thing I played. And then from there, it was like Warcraft.
You were like, I think I'm going to keep this dragon thing going. Let's play some Warcraft.
I loved that game. I used to sit there and take care of him. I'd be like, he's tired. He needs to go take a nap.
You played games the same way I did, where you kind of like did like everything besides the actual main story.
Yeah, he needed to rest. Everyone used to make fun of me, whoever saw me play games, because especially when I was playing Twilight Princess, I used to sit there and like, Link can't possibly run everywhere. That's exhausting. No one does that. So I would have him walk, and like people would be like, "Can you like go? Like you're just walking." And I'm like, "He's tired.
He's taking a breath.
Do you run everywhere, Tiffany? No, you don't. Shut the fuck up."
Wow.
Tiffany, good God.
So yeah, that's my
Okay. Here's showcasing how much of a nerd I was kind of forecast to be. When I was like 4, maybe 3, 4, I had DuckTales for PC.
PC.
Okay. Yes.
throwback.
And now we're talking like, for those who don't understand how old I am, we're talking like 1988 PCs. Okay?
So
clunker.
that shit was on a floppy disk.
Oh my God.
Floppy disk. Okay.
That probably came in 3 floppy disks.
Hey, listen. Okay. And yeah, I had to like go through the tunnels and outrun the mummy and get Scrooge McDuck his treasure. Okay.
Oh my God.
And it was fun. Like I just remember, like, yeah. So.
That's great.
Right, dating myself. Cool.
It's okay.
Here we go. I'm an 80s baby.
DuckTales for the NES was good.
It was good too.
Yeah.
That and good God. What is it? Tailspin. There we go.
I never played Tailspin.
Ah, man. Best theme song from the Disney afternoon.
Well, you got to sing it for us now.
Yeah.
Charles, say less. Oh my God. Spin it. Let's begin it. Oh yeah, tailspin. Oh yeah, tailspin.
All right, we're gonna get content.
And for life that we for another tailspin.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Wow.
That was a great show.
That was good. Yeah.
Nicely done, by the way.
Yeah, it was
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
In your opinion, what is the best games console?
I'm a PlayStation girl.
Which one?
Yeah, which one?
I haven't even tried the 5, so I can't speak to that. But I love the 4. I had the 3. Always seems to have like crazy issues.
Yeah,
So
three was where they like lost their way a little bit, and then they kind of
yeah,
came back.
not ideal.
Like everybody thought that they were going to be done in the games market. That's how bad the 3 was.
Yeah, they really had a lot of issues with that. But the 4 has been great. I didn't have a 2. I had a 1. I seem to be skipping every other PlayStation.
That's fine.
But yeah, I would definitely have to go with the 4. It's pretty solid for me.
Will?
To me, it was the Nintendo 64.
I agree. That was what I was going to say.
Mainly because, I mean, it did have good solo games for sure.
Oh yeah, but it had the 4 controllers.
It was that 4 controllers, and just I guess like just to me, I'm sure to you to other Brandon, like you got your friends together.
Oh yeah, pizza Friday nights. That was. It was
right.
Going down.
Friday, Saturday, you brought your favorite controller, whatever color it was, over to your friend's house, and you was like, "Yo, what game are we playing? Smash Brothers, GoldenEye, Mario Party, Jet Force Gemini, like whatever, you know." It was, let's do this.
Oh, yeah. That was
Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing. It was just so many party games.
Diddy Kong Racing was better than Mario Kart.
Dude, it was so good. It was so great.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was just
that was the thing,
friend time, family time. Yeah, it was good time.
People loved PS2, but I was like, it's only 2 controllers, man. Like you missed. I mean, you could get a multi-tap, but like I mean, like games supported that.
For just I think solo player RPGs and everything else, PlayStation 2 definitely has a title just as far as like, you know, I guess that early online play, but just more staying at home and you know, just kind of enjoying that.
Yeah, but N64 I think is the
Caleb, we're echoing in your we can hear ourselves on your computer.
You're not coming through. Well, I don't know
how to.
I could hear myself.
Oh.
How
do you sound?
Turn it down.
It's not. It's in my headset. You guys aren't playing through my computer.
Oh well.
Maybe it was me.
Okay.
That could have been me then, because I didn't hear it.
Do you still hear it?
No, I don't hear it anymore. But I definitely heard it before. It was like lighting up on yours. It's like echoing. Anyway, but yes, N64 was great. Good times.
I feel like GameCube. If they had more games on the GameCube, I would have ranked it higher.
Yeah, that was it.
I just didn't really come out with like the amount that N64 came out with. It was very
GameCube didn't come out swinging.
No, it didn't.
Like N64,
it came out with Melee, so in a way, it came out with like one really heavy punch and then kind of stopped.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right. It had some good titles for sure. I mean, listen, there's definitely some gems on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Luigi's Mansion was like a gem.
Luigi's Mansion. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but yeah.
But
yeah,
like
the multiplayer didn't hit.
Yeah, it didn't have like the party feeling of N64.
Yeah, Mario Kart Double Dash didn't hit the way Mario Kart 64 or he said Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah,
you know.
What I know the answer to this one. What's the best weapon you've ever used in the game? Cerebral Bore from Turok 2, hands down.
Best weapon?
Do you remember that shit?
I didn't play Turok 2.
Man, the Cerebral Bore. Google it. It's the best thing ever. You shoot a little like drone. It lands on the enemy's head. It drills into their brain, and then it drops an explosive and blows their head up.
Oh wow!
Yep. And it's one of the most satisfyingly gruesome things. You know me, like I'm squeamish. Like I don't like, but like every time I do that as a kid, I was like, "Yeah, drill into his head."
Oh man!
And my parents were very worried, but I always used to laugh because it's just like you're drilling into his head. He's probably dead already. Why are you dropping a bomb in there and blowing?
It's like I have to make sure, Mom.
Yeah, that is some overkill.
He's got to stay down.
Textbook overkill.
Caleb, what's your favorite gun?
Gun? I don't know. I like never really like think about that. So what's coming to mind is I can't remember the name of it. It's the one my brother called it like I I mean, I love the bolt action rifle in RDR1. But I will say it was like in Call of Duty, like in 2 and 3, it was like the game that gun that had the sights. I want to say it was like
There's a
better.
lot of gun. I think every gun
No, it
has
had
sight.
like it was a really good one where like people like my brother called me like a cheater basically for
The
using
one with
it
like a noob
because
tube. I think it's the M4, isn't it?
yeah. It had I just remember it was like a letter and a number.
That makes sense.
But that's I mean when I think of like a gun that like was memorable, that's the first thing that I think of. Other I don't know. I don't know. I'll think about it, but
All right. For
that's
me,
really what I got.
the best gun ever. It is the classic, the first. You know it, you love it, and everybody try to imitate it. The Biofusion Generator 9000 from Doom,
Oh, the BFG.
otherwise known as the big fucking gun.
Scientifically speaking.
Scientifically speaking,
Okay.
you know, you point it at enemies and they die.
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember that vividly.
Here's a room full of demons. Not anymore.
You're like, what's this button do?
So,
God,
yeah, to me that was like the one. Like I kind of feel like, you know, kind of started like, hey, you know what? We're gonna put the super weapon in these games, and
right, yeah.
if you guys get it, have fun.
Kids seem
You
to
know.
like the big fucking gun.
Yeah, they do. So
I
That's
remember
funny.
that. But it still didn't kill the cyber demon.
no. I mean, he was
Yeah.
very, very much OP. I think that was kind of like just a, you know, they were trying to, I guess, set the litmus test to let them know, like, yo, how
Right.
strong this guy is. Like this,
Right.
your best gun kills everything in one shot. It takes like 8 to drop this monster. So
Gotcha.
run when you see him.
Who was your main in each of the
Smash
fighting
Brothers?
games? Well,
Oh,
in each of
sorry.
the fighting games. It says Smash Brothers. It says Soul Calibur. I don't know. I've only played ever
Yeah, I'm a
one, and I was Link.
Kelly, you're not really a fighting game girl, are you?
Well, so I played the Marvel Nemesis on my GameCube, and I loved Wolverine. I always was Wolverine or
Never even
Daredevil.
heard of that.
Oh yeah, you got to play as one of the you know, the Marvel guys.
Wolverine's OP.
But
He just heal from everything.
he was well, he I mean, he didn't really do that in this game, but
Oh, okay.
my favorite was because you could do this grappling move where you stuck your claws inside the person and you threw them, and I just fucking love to do that. I was like,
Just call
like,
the
that
police
was
real
like-
quick. Not about this. It's not something.
and then my and then for Super Smash Brothers, y'all already know it's your boy Link all day, and not even young Link. I loved older Link.
Not
although
Wii Fit
young
Trainer?
Link was so much faster. No, we fit trainers for when I'm just being playful. But if I'm really trying to play here,
Yeah.
Link is always my boy.
It's for me. It's Link in Melee and Kirby in every other game. Kirby is the worst in Melee.
Kirby.
And I know
All right.
Will's.
All right, you got that statement half right. Okay.
Mhm.
What you meant to say is Kirby is the worst. Period. End. Stop. All right. For those of you who don't know, sorry. For those of you who are unaware, nope. I need to be more epic. Long ago, in the valleys of battle, there were two forces at battle: pink, yellow, up versus down, right versus
Need
wrong.
some dramatic music.
Kirby
really do.
versus Pikachu.
Oh boy.
I was the Pikachu. In this battle, there did roll a rumble. We would fight for hours and hours, battle upon combat. And Pikachu remained victorious over the cup.
You cut
The
it
fluff
down
ball
now.
from
You
hell.
lost it.
Did it cut out?
Yeah, you went a little too high. You went a little too high with
Gotta
your
add
rage
it in
there.
post. Gotta add it in post.
I gotta add it in post. In post edit, yes.
Post edit. Add it in post.
Yes, but my main in Smash Brothers is and forever will be Pikachu. My brothers will always be Kirby. He trolls me with Kirby. one-on-one fights, we actually have some pretty good scrap downs. Was when everybody else just decides to get on it. Everybody else will troll me and just pick Kirby just because they know it triggers me.
I mean, you could ask my brother. I was always Kirby. So
I'm sure, right? And this is why you are a terrible human being. But in other games, Ryu and Street Fighter, that's a classic for me, for sure. Even Marvel vs. Capcom is always, Ryu. Apologies to my purists out there. And trying to think what other fighting games were there. Mortal Kombat wasn't so much of in Mortal Kombat 10. I mean, so Sub-Zero I guess was always kind of my main because
everybody growing up.
Well, his fighting style was very similar to Ryu's in Ken.
Yeah.
So
you did the quarter circle forward for the ice ball, so
right, yeah.
Same way.
And then but in 10, Jason Voorhees was so
wow.
It was so satisfying. It was just
pick.
I'm telling you, like, if you fought me with Jason Voorhees, it is the most terrifying thing. I scare myself when I play about it sometimes. Just murder, stabby, stab.
It went off the rails with that. That almost became like because what is it, fucking Alien Predator and then Freddy Krueger?
Predator.
I'm like, damn, like this should just be movie fighter or horror fighter.
Oh yeah, horror fighter. Leatherface was in that one. The only one they didn't have was Michael Myers. That was the only one.
Yeah, because I feel like he was much of a fighter. I don't know. But, so Super Smash Brothers is Kirby for me, and then Street Fighter. I always liked Ken, because he had a stronger Shoryuken. I would just knock people out of the air. And, Sub. What about you, Kay?
I never played those games.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Useless.
I didn't like fighting games, It wasn't really my thing. I must be honest.
In your opinion, what's the worst game of all time that you've played? I played Superman 64, and I, as a kid, did not think it was terrible. I thought it was fun.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, because you could like freeze people, and then when you froze them, you could like with your breath, and when they were frozen, you could punch them, and like it would sound like glass breaking, and it was like oddly satisfying. So I'd be like, "Oh, this is sweet! I'm Superman," and then I didn't realize till I was older that it was just the worst put together game you've ever seen in your life.
I don't know. Worst game. That's a good. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it for a minute. Worst game I ever played. What about you, Will?
Okay. That is a tough one to kind of think of. Like,
right?
I could name Shaq Fu.
Shaq Fu.
Yeah,
oh
that was rough.
That was like the Street Fighter with Shaq in it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Alien Colonial Marines. I remember spending money on that one, thinking this would be good.
I remember that. I remember that was like when Javella and I played a lot of games together, and he was like, "You should get it," and then he texted me in the morning. He's like, "You shouldn't get
it." Never mind. God. Ugh. I mean, those are like some notable ones that I could like.
But you played them is the point. Like, you physically played it, not
begrudgingly.
Right.
Right. There's like some I know, like for sure that I was just like, God, what have I done? Like, I think that is like kind of the worst. Like when you spend the money and you're kind of like, oh yeah, this thing, everybody's been talking about this. There's all these kind of things about it. Let's do this. I'm all down and excited, and then you get it, and you're like, what
is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. I remember Blockbuster, like my dad got a game for me because he was just like, because they said I could like rent a game, but I couldn't go. So my dad was just like, give me whatever the newest game you have is, like, and you'll like probably love it. And it's like for N64. And it was Wallace and Gromit or something, and it was like
weird ass
like claymation platformer, and it was just like I was like, this is terrible, Dad. And he's like, well, what do you want from me? I don't know. I just thought it was new.
Oh my god.
What about you, Kay?
Oh man.
You know, I feel like I have a better choice than what I'm gonna say, and the only reason is because like we discussed it the other day, and it's the only game that's coming to mind right now. But I did buy like the Warcraft games, thinking I would love them, like the older ones,
Like the original?
and like the originals. Yeah, I want to. It was
Oh yeah.
the
No.
first one is just, it's just, I was only playing it because I felt like I had to like understand the story better, and I wanted to, but I did not like it at all. Like
It's a
I
little
was
bit of a
like,
slog, yeah.
It is
so
impossible to play
hard
today.
to navigate. I'm like, I can't do this. I was like,
And
it's just
it's
difficult.
it is funny because I know back in the day playing Warcraft 1 and being like, this is amazing. You know,
Yeah.
and I could
Right.
definitely see myself today going back and playing like, oh, nostalgia, and be like, get this out of here. Like the
Yeah,
controls were just
no, it's
so, you know, you
rough.
could only grab 8 characters at a time or 9, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Like,
God, I hated that. And they're so slow. Like
yeah,
you
everything's
had
just
to guide them.
slow.
You had to guide them through the map. Like you couldn't just click an area like 500, like farther away. You had to, because they wouldn't just walk around a wall. They would try and walk through it. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
absolute moron. Oh man, it was just rough. I was like, this is not for me.
There's
I just
definitely like
quit.
some off-brand ones. Like, I mean, yeah, like Warcraft 1 has a nostalgia. I could definitely see myself like, I
Yeah.
was so obsessed with the storyline and everything about it that I had to keep playing it. But I could definitely see myself today, being like, I hate this so much. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like Tides
you know,
would still hold up, though, the second one.
I didn't actually
maybe,
even get to play a chance to play that one.
Tides of
maybe I
Darkness was
do know.
great.
I do know. I went back and I played the first Command and Conquer, just like for nostalgia purposes. And I was the same thing. Like, good God, why did I ever think this was good? Like,
Yeah.
you know.
That, I mean, that isn't a question on here, but that's actually a question I thought. Like, what game did you ever play that, like, you have, like, a fond memory of, and then you, like, played it again? You were like, this isn't as good as
Yeah,
everybody.
he ruined it for you.
And mine would be Vanquish, which is, like, it was a game for, like, Xbox 360, and it was some crazy Capcom game where you're, like, sliding around shooting things, and I remember playing it. That was the first game I ever signed out at the store, because I actually went to, like, try to buy it, and Justin was just like, he was like, just sign it out, don't buy it. And I was like, because I guess the reviews were that it was pretty short. And I played it, and I loved it, and then they came out with it again on Xbox as, like, part of, like, a Bayonetta 2-pack or something. Well, I ended up
Okay.
buying it because it went on sale for like $10, and I was like, "Shit!" I remember this game, and I was like, "Oh, see this." And I was like, "This isn't as fun as I remember it being," because it's just sort of like it's kind of like slapstick a little bit, and it's just like, okay, this kind of gets old. But I guess it's Warcraft for you, Kayla.
Yeah, Warcraft is definitely. Well, no, because I didn't play the first Warcrafts when I was younger. I feel like a game
Okay.
that when I was younger I played a lot was actually, it was a PC game called Jazz Jackrabbit, and I
Yo,
actually,
Sounds like a winner.
Oh
it
my
was
God,
good,
I
but
know
I
that
went to
song.
play it again and recently, and I just wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't capture me.
I do remember playing. My brother was obsessed with Jazz Jackrabbit. I remember
Jackrabbit.
the
It's
soundtrack. The
yeah.
soundtrack bumped. I do remember that. Right.
Yes,
Yo,
it was. It was a
hold
good
on.
song.
Have you ever had a chance to listen to the Buck Bumble theme song? Because from N64, because it is awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Buck Bumble.
Buck Bumble. I'll send it in the chat because it's like a reggae tune. I swear to God, you think I'm kidding?
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Jazz Jackrabbit was good. Well, yeah, it had a good soundtrack, but I don't know. I just played it again, and it just wasn't really for me.
Yeah.
Still a solid
that
game
one.
though. But yeah.
Oh, wait. What other questions we got here? Xbox or PlayStation? Choose one. It says exclamation mark. So
I definitely did that already.
I mean, yeah, I was originally a PlayStation guy, and then I jumped ship when a lot of people did, because 360. Say what you want about back and forth.
Oh, 360 was it.
360 was the one of probably next to the N64. I think 360 is the best non-Nintendo system there is, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
No, I mean like it is valid because 360 definitely owned that generation.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
if you
you know,
if you didn't have a 360, you weren't playing with people. Like no one was fucking playing PS3.
right?
Like
Yeah,
no one was playing that
like
shit.
like you really had to have been like, I'm cutting off from the world. I'm
Really,
anti
yeah.
everything,
Yep.
and you know,
And yeah, and then I ended up playing, or I ended up getting PS4, or I got the one, and everyone kind of switched back to PS4. You know what I mean? I mean, not it's pretty even nowadays. But when that first came out, when PS4 first came out, people were like, everyone was jumping ship. You guys jumped ship, like
I mean,
or you did.
yeah, I jumped ship immediately. I
Yeah.
mean, well, I mean, just because when they announced PlayStation got it together, I'm like, well, look, here's our exclusive titles, and
Right.
you know, I kind of was just like, okay, this kind of makes me lean towards this. And Xbox One was like, here's more Halo. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. What else you got?
What about Halo? You thinking Halo? Maybe Halo. Could be Halo.
Halo. Halo or Halo?
Well, that was that was a different. No, that's what that was. It was Penny Arcade, and they were talking about what's it called, Sega versus Nintendo growing up. And he was,
right,
and
yeah.
he was just like, he's like, Nintendo had Zelda, Mario, and he was like, we Genesis people had Sonic, Sonic 2, Sonic Spinball, Sonic 3D, Sonic 3D Blast. That's Sonic, maybe Sonic, could be Sonic. Looks like Sonic.
Is it Sonic?
Who is your favorite villain from a video game and why?
Oh, wow.
I like Bowser because he's a giant turtle. And you know, and he was never like, I always liked Bowser because Bowser sort of understood his role in like the video games in a way, because it was just never like, I feel like he was obviously like malicious, but I feel like he.
No, can we discuss this? Like,
What?
All right, Bowser and Peach definitely had like a side thing going on. No woman allows herself to be kidnapped willingly that many times. Okay. Just like, oh no, Mario, come save me. I'm gonna be hiding out in Bowser's castle. Oh yeah, it's a new stereo you put in. Oh, it's nice. Right. No, he'll be busy for hours trying to get over here. Right. You set your puzzles up so amazingly.
It does seem a little suspicious. I will agree. But I always loved how he was just very. I think it was like one of the Paper Marios, where like he's like kidnapped the princess, and then the bad guy shows up, and then he's like, "What are you doing? Like, you're not part of this. This is the three of us." Mario comes and saves her. Like Bowser's just like, "Mario, help me get this guy out of here." I always like that man. From a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like they understood their role and they just played it well.
I think for me, it's then, whatever. Okay, but Sephiroth.
Okay. From 7,
yeah. Just all in all, everything was built up. The mystique about him, everything just kind of, when you finally came across it, you're like, oh crap, like, yeah, he's the final boss for a good goddamn reason,
Right.
So,
you're like, when you finally see him, you're like, okay, this dude's scary enough.
Right, yeah.
What about you, Caleb?
I really liked what was it, Voss from Far Cry 3. He was great, but then he was
that
cool.
Actor killed it.
Yeah,
for sure.
He did a good job.
I liked him a lot. I liked his insanity. But then I also I really for strict villainy, I really liked Scarecrow in Arkham Knight.
He did a good job. They did a good job with him in that, because it was sort of like, all right, well, like the Joker is like clearly the arch, so like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he filled that role really good, because it was just like, okay.
I also just liked. I don't know. They both had psychological things going on, and that's I love that.
That was always his thing, because he always he wasn't a fighter.
No,
Scarecrow.
He was all about torture, and
right. He was all about fears and mental manipulation.
You know who's all about torture
and
manipulation?
Justin?
And these probably no, the worst video game villain of all time, Tom Nook. Okay.
Tom Nook. Hey, oh my God, that capitalist pig.
So here's the thing. And you have not played the newest one.
I have not.
I'm telling you right now that Nintendo looked at all the memes and because Tom Nook in this game is the nicest guy. And,
I heard he's
and,
such a nice
no,
guy.
they did a complete 180 with the character. I'm not even kidding. And
Oh.
he's just like, you pay back your loan whatever you want. Don't even worry about it. You enjoy yourself on the island. Like they totally were just like, okay, people think this dude is evil. We need to do something.
And what's crazy? It's just
He's
all
like,
the,
hey,
in the
you have
first one-
money. I did something, so pay me more.
Yeah, like you thought he was gonna like break your knees if you didn't pay him back. Like,
Yeah. You'd always be like, oh, you have money to buy things, but you don't have money to pay.
yeah,
them
like you show up
back.
to the shop like, oh, that's funny. Yeah, you want the shovel? I mean, you still owe me for the house that I gave you. Like, but
I used to get so mad. I'd be like, I was perfectly content living in my $10,000 shed.
That is the thing too, because he upgrades your house without you asking him to.
They'd be like, oh, yeah, I went ahead and painted your roof for you as well.
Like you owe me $20,000. Like
I'm like,
my roof is
would
fine.
not, why can't I do this myself first and foremost? I didn't even get an estimate from other corporations.
Like we should. What is that Family Guy? Where he's like the Star Wars episode. He's like, we could do it. We could do it tomorrow if cost isn't an issue.
Oh
and
yeah,
like, we'll get estimates. Yeah, get some estimates. Yeah.
Get some estimates. So true. Oh my god.
Gosh. All right.
Wow. All the animals in that game were like mean though.
So,
like every single one of them.
No, that's the thing is that every villager has a personality, and they like the different personality archetypes. And the original one, like there was mean ones, but they were mean. Like in this game, they're just like a little grumpy. Because they totally dialed everything down in New Horizons. But in the original. And like the original, a mean villager would just be like, "Hey, if you die tomorrow, I wouldn't fucking care. Bye."
Yeah, they'd just be like, "You look like shit, and you are shit. Get the fuck out of here."
Oh yeah, when you get stung by a bee, there was no way to fix it, and they would just all be like, "You freak, go away."
Yeah, and they would just, and if you like, if they would be like, "Here, let me sell you this large chess piece for you to put in the middle of your fucking living room." And if you said no, they would be like, "Well, fuck you then. You're a worthless. You're not even a real friend because you won't buy this big ass fucking queen piece set. Like, fuck you." And you're just like, what?
Okay.
They're just like, give me all the money in your wallet for this thing that you don't even want. No, you're a terrible human being.
and what's worse is that game. They moved away, and they didn't even tell you. Like, they would send you a letter after they moved away. They were like, "Oh, by the way, I peaced out," and you'd be like, "What?"
Yeah, you didn't even, especially if it was the only one who was nice to you.
Yeah, they were the only ones that left. The mean ones never left.
The mean ones would stay forever, and I'd sit there and I'd be hitting them with a butterfly net. I'd be like, "Get the fuck out of town!" And they just won't. They just get mad at you and just storm around.
Okay, who? Just because we're talking about villains and everything, I want to just list, just because I just saw it and how they made me laugh, the most useless villains of all time in video games. And I have to say, the Pokemon series antagonists.
Oh, Team Rocket.
No, all of them. Okay, because every single one of them is just like, I have these dreams to take over the world. Oh, you beat me in one Pokemon fight. I've changed my ways, and you'll disappear. You'll never see me again. Well done, sir. Well done.
Wow. Useless.
Wow. Your lightning Pokemon beat my water Pokemon, so I'll give up on villainy. Like,
right, yeah. Like,
if only I had a rock Pokemon instead, I would still be a bad guy. No, you're absolutely right.
Oh man!
I said it in the Discord, the thing where it was like, wouldn't it be cool if the Elite Four beat Team Rocket? And like somebody was like, make a hell of a lot more sense than me doing it. Like what? Like you're a kid who takes it. Like this criminal organization gets taken down by what are you 11 in the original game? Like
right, yeah. Like the literal mob.
Yeah.
The literal mob, and he beats you in a gym battle, and you're just kind of like, Giovanni's just kind of like, yeah. Cool, you got it, kid.
Yeah, right. Good job.
We're out.
Here's a badge. Go beat the Elite Four. We're reforming.
You know, we've been reformed because I lost one fight.
I mean, no thread though. Think any thread you pull up on Pokemon, just it comes apart. Like I don't know. Like what do you mean you're like an elite trainer, but you have all the same type of Pokemon? That doesn't make any sense. Like like Lance is this amazing dragon trainer, and I have I have Ice Beam, and you're dead. Like it
Right.
just doesn't make any
Ice
sense.
Beam.
Like,
Ice Beam.
Ice Beam. I'm
Ice
thinking Ice
Beam.
Beam. How about Ice Beam?
Ice
And
Beam.
it's like,
Ice
and Lance is like, wow, you're an amazing trainer. I'm like, I hit
Right.
B 5 times, and you lost. So not really.
It's just
What's your favorite Pokemon, Kayla?
That's a great question. I always like my basic. I always love like Charizard. Fire Pokemon's really
that
good
is
for me.
so basic.
I'm sorry.
That's like
But you know what? No,
I can hear
Ninetales.
his voice. The triggering.
I'm sorry, but Ninetales. I'd have to say, like, I
Oh,
love
man.
Ninetales so much. Just because it's a
Yeah, I
fire
can see
type.
you
Fox.
liking. I can see you being in the Ninetales.
yeah, because it's like a
type of
little
gal.
effeminate, and you're gay
It's
for
cute.
it. I get it.
It's a cute little baby.
It's a cute little baby. You're sure not thinking of Vulpix? Because that's 2 different things.
No, I'm definitely thinking of Ninetales.
Ninetales is a cute little baby.
Yeah.
Really?
Don't argue with her.
All right, no,
It's
I'm just
cute.
opening.
cute is not the term I would use. To
You wouldn't
describe
call
Ninetales.
Ninetales cute.
I
It's
would
got
call
a pretty little,
Vulpix. I would call Vulpix cute.
it's like a great big dog,
No.
right? No.
Well, Ninetales.
Yes.
Yes, it is technically is a dog, but I don't know. I don't know if I would call it
pretty
cute.
dog.
I would call it beautiful, if anything.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
All right, I'm just arguing with you to be a dick. I'm sorry. What do we say? We finish this up by saying what game we're gonna play next.
You didn't ask me what my favorite Pokemon is.
Oh yeah,
I know
what's
what your favorite Pokemon is.
No, shut up. Let me say it.
Okay.
My favorite Pokemon is the one that keeps the goddamn lights on in the house. Okay? Wouldn't be Pokemon if it wasn't for him. All right? He pays the bills, suckers. Bow down. Pay your respects. Okay? Pikachu. What?
Wouldn't it be Raichu?
Suck it.
Raichu would provide you with more energy.
Raichu doesn't pay the bills.
Well, Raichu,
Pikachu sells the merchandise.
that is
Okay?
true. Thank God for Pikachu.
Thank God for Pikachu. Okay? You guys be talking about like how red and blue were nice experiments if it wasn't for that goddamn cute mouse.
Well, Clefairy was originally going to be the main Pokemon.
And he failed. All right? Him and Jigglypuff. Failures. Pink.
Oh, poor
Suck.
Jigglypuff.
Suck it. Look at me. Walking. Look at my eyes. Roll them.
You've been waiting years to say that. Oh, God.
Yeah, what
Okay,
game
right.
are we playing? What's the next one we're
What's the
gonna do?
next
after
game
this?
we're going to play on the podcast?
Well, we can do. I mean, I got Pico Park, so we
can
can
get
do
Pico
that.
Park, so we can do
Or
that. We
if
can do
you
that
guys want
next
to
week.
do,
I'm triggered
or there's
already.
also Diablo.
I'm so
We
triggered
could
about
keep
Pico
playing
Park.
Diablo.
Pico sounds. I think I would like.
Pico is a
I
lot
think
of
would
fun.
be fun for the
Alright,
3 of
we'll
us.
do that next week, and we'll see if we can get more people into it.
Yeah.
What is the max? 7?
It's 8, I think.
Is it 8?
Yeah.
If Casey ended up getting it, then that's 3.
Right. That'll be
No,
traumatic.
it's 6. But
Is
still,
it? No, it's definitely not 6.
If we invite Amanda and Brian.
Oh, I mean, out of our friend